What it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nixie coming back with another Bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. I wanted to go over a UK grime legend, and this applies to a lot of lyrical rappers, this vocal tutorial. So let's jump into it today. The artist is gonna be Skepta. Alright, so if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and drop more suggestions for artists down below. Here we go. Let's do it.
The sun goes down at night, man, I'm calling you. Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Mom, men's on the roads. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows, cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing, I know you see where man's trying to get to. I've been around the world and back, I ain't never anyone that I wanna be with more than you. That's why when the sun comes down that night, man, I'm calling you. Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows cause
All right, so Skepta's a really dope rapper. I remember back in the day, like a couple years ago, when he made that, song "Shut Down." He was getting so big in Europe and UK that even Drake had to start, shouting him out and acknowledging him and all that stuff like that. Even Drake was running with Skepta and shouting him out and stuff like that. So that just shows you how dope it is. Music it kind of has no boundaries. So let's look at this here today. A guy like Skepta, he has those grime vocals. He's very lyrical. He reminds me of them throwback rappers like Nas, Jay-Z, where it's all about the pen and the pad and the rhyme scheme and everything like that. So this is about how to get those, present lyrical, vocals. So let's look at this here today. So I'm going to bypass it with and without the preset. Let's go.
man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing, I know you see where man's trying to get to. I've been round the world and back, I ain't never met anyone I wanna be with more than you. That's why when the sun comes down that night, man,
Okay, so let's break this down right now for lyrical rappers. The most important thing with guys like this is the transient energy, which is located in the mid-range with somebody like Skepta and, a lot of lyrical rappers who have penmanship. It's all about the delivery, the fine details, and a lot of times the articulation and the flow is located in the mid-range. So I use something like the Kramer pi compressor. Okay, so with this pi compressor, I think it is a pulse wave modular compressor. I'm not sure if it's that or it's a solid state compressor, but either way, just know that this is a compressor that brings out the mid-range in a vocal, and that's why I like to use it a lot. Whenever I want some bite, show me your teeth a little bit, that dentist appointment, that cavity feeling, okay, whenever I want to get a little bit of teeth to start to show me those canines, I use this compressor because it gives a little bit of edge and tone.
man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never.
I love this type of compressor a lot because you see it's pulling out the mid-range. So sometimes you don't have to do an EQ. If you understand what a compressor is giving you, it can do the EQ like move for you. It's pushing out the mid-range, also just making the rapper's flow just poke out a little bit, kind of like Pinocchio, kind of like a grandma with that little prickly finger, poke, 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 kind of like that annoying ass jit in elementary school. So that's what I'm using the compressor to do, to help the vocal poke forward a little bit. Important for a lyrical rapper where a lot of the energy is in the high mids. Okay, after that, we're using the Neve 1084, and this is the emulation by Waves called the VEQ. So the VEQ3 is an emulation of the 1073, and this right here is the emulation of the 1084, which came afterwards. Okay, so very classic and timeless EQ. The thing about this is it has a very smooth tone to it. It has a little bit of that transformer warmth for a guy like Skepta or any lyrical rapper. It brings a little bit of that warmth, a little bit of that glow, and I did push a little bit of that high mid presence it's really just starting to focus on the mid-range. Your ear will naturally hear mid-range more than any other frequency. You know, when you talk to people, that's a part of natural adaptation. But I like to do a situation where I'm pushing that high mid to bring out a little bit more of the good parts of his flow.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows, cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing, I know you see where man's trying to get to. I've been round the world and back, I ain't never met anyone I wanna be with more than you. That's why when the sun comes down that night, man, I'm calling.
So you just hear that rolling off a little bit of that low end actually starts to make us hear things a little bit better. A situation where we taking off the blanket, hello, good morning to the vocal, and just pushing out a little bit of that high mid. You know, I'm very reductive when it comes to EQ. I would always tell you before you boost, always cut first and kind of see what kind of fat or what kind of, you know, raw ingredients that you do have on the cutting board. You know what I mean? Start cutting the fruits and the vegetables and see how much apples do you really have, how much orange you really have, how much sweetness you do really have, and then you go ahead and add. If you want to add more sugar, you add more flavor, but try to use the natural flavors of the vocal. Then we have a de-esser. We know what that's doing. That's not working too hard with Skepta, but I feel like when you have somebody who's rapping fast, you can kind of get away a little bit more with the de-essing.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose.
All right, after that, we have the C4 as well. So this is how I'm kind of controlling those consonants. You know, he's already a rapper that's already given the consonants and the flow and the spitting type of situation. So we're trying to make sure we control that. The de-esser has already done a little bit of that work. The Kramer Pi has already started to push that mid-range a little bit forward. And now we're going to use the C4 pop vocal preset, most importantly on that high mid, to control all of the consonants that are coming through. You know what I mean? It's like a situation where we're at the zoo and the consonants and the harshness of the vocal is kind of like that lion. It wants to grab you. It wants to jump on you and hit you. But then you have that big glass that is protecting you from having, you know, the harsh lion jump at you. So I'm using this band to make the harsh frequencies not jump at me completely. Most important thing is a fast attack and a fast release to really control that high mid. But it sounds very smooth and organic.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows, cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing, I know you see where man's trying to get to. I've been round the world and back, I ain't never met anyone I wanna be with more than you. That's why when the sun comes down that night, man, I'm calling you. Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone.
A lot of the presence of his voice is already naturally there. So that's something you got to understand about a lyrical rapper like Skepta or anybody. Like, where is the presence at? Some people's presence in their vocal is in like a lower mid, kind of like Lil Yachty. You know, his vocal don't have too much brightness, sparkly at the top, but his vocal does have a little bit of that type of presence. So that's lower mid presence. Then there's the regular mid-range presence, which is around like, I would say 1 to 3K. And then you have a little bit of the higher mid-range presence, which is like, I would say about 4K and up. 4, 5, 6K would be the most where you would really boost that to get the presence, the clarity, the detail, and fine attention to their vocals. Like when you want to boost presence, for me personally, I see in a situation where it's like you're working on Photoshop, right? And sometimes when you want to understand a picture a little bit better, you got to go to the fine pixels, you feel me, and bring that out a little bit. Those fine pixels help you understand exactly what a picture is. So the same thing applies to a vocal. When you start boosting presence, those small details help the listener understand what the vocal is truly about. Okay, Sheps, omni-channel, and I'm trying to smooth out the top end, like how I just said, right, with the lion jumping at the plastic glass. I'm using even order saturation, which is giving a little bit of warm tone to his vocal. And the compressor I'm using is an 1176. Whenever somebody's rapping fast, I gotta pay attention to the flow of the rapper. Oh shit, you want to rap fast? If you move, I move, just like that. You feel me? That's the situation as an engineer. Pay attention to how quickly the rapper is rapping. You feel me? Because if a rapper is rapping quickly, there's certain analog compressors you just can't use because they're too slow and they can't keep up. You feel me? So it's a situation where you can't bring a minivan to a drag race because you damn well know that minivan can't keep up with the rest of them sports cars. You feel me? So using that even order harmonic is smoothing out the vocal a little bit. Using that FET compression is actually starting to help the vocal be like a windmill. You feel me? And spin around a little bit.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her love, heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows, cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing. I know you see where man's trying to get to. I've been round the world and back. I ain't never met anyone I wanna be.
And of course, we were doing a little bit of de-essing all the way at 10K because we've, effectively, when you do a little bit of that pumping and breathing compression, it kind of brings in a little bit more height. It kind of really does give an extension of air a little bit because now you're starting to hear a little bit more of the transitions in the words. So now you feel like the vocal's getting a little higher, which in 1176, sometimes it can do, especially the Blueface one has like a feeling of like a 10K boost. You feel me? You just start to feel a little bit more of the high mid presence. And that's why 1176 is dope for rap vocals, you feel me? And singing vocals too. It gives presence, but if there's a lot of harshness up there in that presence, then we might want to use a de-esser to balance it all out. Okay, so after that we have the REQ, and this is kind of like just a basic balancing type of tonal balancing EQ, where I've already done a little bit of that compression. Now I kind of want to get my vocal back under control and back to being balanced, you feel me? Because like how I said, when you're using 1176, there will be a presence boost at somewhere around 10K, you feel me? Just the nature of aggressive compression will do that.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love, heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows, cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing. I know you see where man's trying to get to.
Yeah, so sometimes EQ is about maybe just balancing out what the compressor just did. Maybe it's not always about boosting or, oh, I need more of this, so I'm just going to use the EQ. Maybe because you did a little bit of compression, now the compression has brought up a little bit more of the lows and you're just trying to balance it back out. That's why it's called a equalizer. You feel me? You're trying to get it back to equilibrium. Using the RVOX, it's giving some of that big body to the vocal, just a little bit of RVOX and a little bit of gating.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love, heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows, cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing. I know you.
Very important to understand compression, right? The 1176 was bringing in a little bit of that high mid presence, that pumping and breathing transient type of compression. The RVOX is bringing in a little bit more of that low mid presence where it has a body and a smooth glow to it. So understanding the way that compressors affect the vocal tonally is very important for rappers like Skepta, J. Cole, Nas, Jay-Z, any type of lyrical rapper where you really want them to focus on the lyrics. You know, how are you gonna disperse that presence? It's kind of like a situation where it's Halloween. The vocal's trying to come into the beat, but you as the engineer, you got to figure out how you're going to disperse the candy. Okay, am I going to use this compressor to give me a little bit more of that sibilance type of presence? Because sometimes sibilance is not bad. You feel me? Like all of that stuff is the sliding transition. Sometimes you need that. It's just that you don't want too much of it. You feel me? But you still do need it so somebody can see the transitions in the words of the rapper. You feel me? So that vocal can be like a snake and kind of glide around the grass a little bit. You feel me? If a snake was on the grass and it can't glide around, it's just gonna die because it can only stay there. But if a snake can slither, it can move around a little bit, and that's what we want our vocals to always do. You want it to move around a little bit, but where do you want to move it? You feel me? Do you want it to move in the high mid like the 76 did that? You want it to move like just straight up mid range like the Kramer Pie did that? Or do you want it to be like RVOX where it's like a low movement? So that's something that you got to understand as an engineer. How does the compressor add a tonal quality and movement to the vocal? After that, Kramer tape, using this like as a de-esser to smooth stuff out.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love, heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows, cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing. I know you see where man's trying to get to. I've been round the world.
Another great thing that I love to use when somebody's kind of rapping relatively fast or they have like a bubbling auto tune is I like to use a little bit of wow and flutter. Now, wow and the flutter is kind of making the tape move and wobble around a little bit, kind of contributes to the movement of the rapper's flow. So after that, we have another Kramer tape on a slap preset, nothing crazy, you know, just giving a little dimension to the vocal. After that, we had the Kramer tape, using it as a pre-delay, you feel me? Before it hits our Abbey Road's plate, a very warm reverb. But this is what they used to use back in the day. They would put a tape, you know, a tape delay in front of the signal that was going to the actual reverb, you know, the real plate send that was happening. So that's how they create a little bit of pre-delay. And pre-delay is great because it's kind of like that little hiccup before the reverb actually starts, gives a little separation from the actual vocal to the reverb. So now you have a little bit of separation, you know?
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows cause I ain't trying to see her.
With Skepta, I was going for like a very metallic type of aggressive plate sound. So yeah, we used the Abbey Roads and we used which one? I think it was like you get a couple different plates. I used the second plate, which it kind of just looks like, you know, it's just a little bit metallic, a little bit brassy, and it starts to really help his vocals get a little bit of that aggression. You feel like, man, I hate this phone. Kiss my ting when I hear the ringtone. You feel me? If somebody hates their phone, do you think that they're gonna be smiling? Man, I hate my phone. Like, you listen to the way the rapper is telling you he wants to be portrayed. Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hit the ringtone. You feel me? Something that's bothering him. So that's why I brought in that brassy type of reverb following the theme, the theme of the Halloween party, okay? After that, doubler, we already know what this does, rolling off some top and bottom, and just giving a little dimension to the vocal. For Skepta. Then I use the MV2. I love using the MV2 to boost up the nuances for the vocal because I'm taking all the low level detail and I'm pushing it all the way up type of situation. Like when you see a junkyard, a scrapyard, when they crushing them car crusher shits, they bring the car all the way up and then boom, and there's another crusher. So pretty much crushing the signal, getting something very dense.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road trying to do this thing. I know you see where man's trying to get to. I've been round the world and back. I ain't never met anyone I wanna be with more than you. That's why when the sun comes down that night, man, I'm calling you.
All right, so that's pretty much the end of the vocal chain. We had some Skepta Adlibs real quick, and I'm gonna go over them real fast. So just like really focus on the mid range of Skepta's, Adlibs. Did a little bit of RVox for presence, a doubler stomp, which is different. I did a doubler stomp on the actual Adlibs, and I don't know, it kind of gave us like a little bit of a smearing effect.
Man, I hate this phone. Kiss my teeth when I hear the ringtone. Put it on silent, leave me alone. Mom's like, Junior, when are you gonna come home? Ma, men's on the road. Text her a love heart, text her a rose. I gotta do these shows cause I ain't trying to see another tear run down your nose. Sometimes I don't text you back, but I never meant to disrespect you. I'm on the road.
I feel like when you put a doubler into a reverb, what it kind of does is it gives the reverb just a little bit more thickness, a little bit more warmth. So yeah, we used that. Then we had a Kramer tape over here doing a little bit of light saturation, but with different settings, a basic H delay, and then we had a SSL channel on parallel. You feel me? Just to give a little density, and then just a little bit of reverb with a basic EQ. Nothing crazy for Skepta, but the most important thing about a rapper like Skepta, his ad-libs are not really like too much contributing to the actual, message of the song. So you got to always understand, like, as an engineer, where is the message of the song coming through? You feel me? So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the video that we got here today. If you do like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do want to check out the preset, go ahead and get it down below. So drop more suggestions for artists that y'all want to see. All right, so I just want to say thank you so much for being a great part of my YouTube family. I appreciate y'all now. Peace.